Yeah, I haven't exactly mastered this Charlotte yet.
All right, guys, we are live here on the tubes in the MX-5s at
The estimated strength of field
Long
is
Beach.
997.
Haven't really done too many
For weather to show up, fellas.
laps here in
I
these
want to make sure you guys
things.
cover up all your equipment so we don't have any water damage. Make sure your radios covered up as well.
So, but I know Long Beach pretty well from my days racing on Forza Motorsport, like 5 and 6, and also on Project Cars 2. There was a lot of Long Beach. And so I know the track really well, but I haven't really practiced. I've turned like I don't know, a couple laps there, or not even a couple laps, a couple turns here in qualifying is all the practice I've done. So let's see what this is going to turn out like. Woohoo! The standing start here.
Mic check.
Is that a rookie race or is it D
No,
class?
this is the C class.
C.
Yeah, the C class Mazda
YouTube.
Cups. Oh, it's a standing start. I hope I don't get destroyed in the first lap.
Just hang back.
It's a real tight turn here that you gotta enter at. Then you get then like a tight chicane type thing. It's not really a chicane, but it's around like a little flower bed or something.
Off to the right. Stay on your toes. Very slow on the right.
I've never raced Long Beach.
Slow and coming backwards. In front of you, in front of you, in front of you.
Come on. Sorry, my bad.
The VR is so much better, I
Okay.
think, for
Left side.
rallycross. I mean, I think
Clear.
it's better for everything, really, but...
Yeah.
If
I
you end
mean,
up sliding a
well,
little too far sideways, you can look beside you.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot easier.
so I would agree that it's makes like I think VR is a lot is definitely easier for like road course
On your
racing,
right.
so you can see more of your speed
Still
and
there
like
at your door.
distance and braking points better.
Yeah.
Still there at your door. Still there, quarter. Still there at your door.
I just think it's really good in the dirt, because then, especially if
Clear,
you're sliding
clear. On
beside
your
somebody,
right.
you can look over and kind of see how close you are to them.
You're clear.
Right. Yeah. But like with these Mazdas here, if it's there's certain cars and certain tracks
clear, clear.
on road racing that it doesn't really, the extra depth perception doesn't really bother me. In fact, that's really what I'm having to get used to right now. Since I've been in VR all day, I'm having to get used to the whole flat surface here when I'm racing, being on a flat screen. But that
On your right. Clear. Right
You got it all
side.
dialed in.
Clear, clear,
graphically.
clear.
oh yeah,
Left
I mean,
side.
oh yeah, for the VR,
clear,
finally,
clear.
yeah.
I mean, it looks good. You like it? Happy?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Took me. I finally got it
Like
dialed
night
in
and day.
today. Finally. But anyway, what I was to say about the monitors is like in these MX-5s, it doesn't bother me. I can race monitor, VR. It's not much difference, you know.
Yeah.
Other than it being a flat surface on the monitor, not
Yeah.
as good depth, whatever. But
Plus, you're on 32s, too. I mean, you already have a bigger
Crap.
field of view horizontally and vertically.
right.
And
I
I
just,
Sure, guys, be
I
ready.
just wrecked
Get
a
your
little
position.
bit. Not bad, but
Gotta
messed
get
up
that,
my
okay.
left front a little bit, but it's just dented a little bit. My steering and nothing's messed up. Anyway, but like in NASCAR stuff, it doesn't really matter either way to me. In
Yeah.
fact, I almost prefer monitors anymore, because the races are a little longer.
Yeah.
But now
Well,
with like
20-minute F4 with the VR was
yes, any
not
of the
much, but I wouldn't want to do much more than that, I don't think.
any of the open wheel stuff though, I love in VR. Now that
Oh, it
open
looks
wheel
so
stuff
good
is
for some reason.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely amazing.
Like, it's cool to see the inside of some of the cars and stuff, too, like the Ferrari and stuff, but just having the open wheel and be able to see everything
jeez.
unobstructed looks so good.
It's about blew a turn. That's very yummy. Yeah. So I used to race everything in VR, dude. I told you I did the Coca-Cola 600 twice in VR, and that's a 600-mile race, 5 hours or 4.5 one race. The other was 5 in VR. That's insane.
It seems like my average on here is about 47 though.
Heads up.
But now I was trying to race the. I tried doing a couple of those F3 races on a monitor that I've been racing. I couldn't do it. It was I tried one time. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
It was definitely too difficult to do on monitor compared to VR.
Slow in front of you guys. Car stopped in front of you.
The only thing I can't seem to get working too good on here is the I told you I have like the prescription lenses, those Zenny lenses,
Yeah.
and you know they're good. I don't know, quarter, half-inch thick.
Oh,
So
about
it brings the lenses closer to my eyes.
Right.
I can't seem to get this. You know, it's got the thing you can adjust or whatever on the headset. I can't seem to get that thing to even move.
35.
And like my eyelashes scrape the
5
lenses and get them kind of
Oh,
blurry over
hold
time.
on. You're talking about the thing where you adjust it out for your the facial
Yeah, it's
interface.
supposed to be able to fit glasses in there. I don't know if that would even work, but
Well, you can
know
adjust
my
that.
glasses
It
wouldn't fit
adjusts out pretty far. I messed with mine there to see how far out it would go. It goes a decent little bit.
I can't even get the button like inside to push to be able to pull it out.
Hey, that
I got
was
mine
good.
too.
Yeah, I can't even get
Car
it
behind
working,
you,
so I
just
kind of
hit it.
gave up. And
Well, I'll send you a link. You got to get they got a replacement one. This is by a company called AMVR. It's really nice. They make the one that theirs
Take care of your stuff, man.
their-
Down the track.
theirs has vents, so it helps get heat out, so it doesn't get too hot in there. And they send you 2 different facial pads to go with it, which are really nice. One of them's like a microfiber, and the other's a leather one. And the facial interface is wider because the one that it comes with is pretty narrow. It hurts my face a little bit.
yeah, it's a little narrow.
Yeah, and theirs is wider,
Slow in front
and
of you, in
it's
front of you, in
easier
front of you.
to
Coming back
adjust
Yeah.
Car is sitting in the middle of
for
the
the
track.
glasses or whatever.
Yeah, I would never even attempt wearing my glasses
It's like
in here, but
it's like $35 for the replacement aftermarket facial gasket and pads.
What the hell is that?
I'm the 10 car running 14th. I need to pick up some positions here.
I think the hardest part about this Charlotte too, the second dirt section, it goes over that little hump, and you kind of got to immediately initiate the turn right after the hump.
Yes.
Next car in front of you is hit.
That makes that one a little, not hard, but I'm a little inconsistent at that corner. The first big...
But you're not talking about the jump. You're talking about the hump, right?
Yeah, there's a little hump, there's a little dirt hump, and then it turns immediately to the left.
Well, I start braking right as you go up the hump.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing out
That
the back.
first big dirt area,
Yeah,
I'm pretty constant with
7.4.
how I handle that one. That and Brands Hatch. Have you rallycrossed there yet?
Yeah, once before, but I wasn't very good. I didn't practice much, and I should have.
That, if you recall, it's got a little thing that goes after you go over the jump. There's like an asphalt or whatever jump, and then
I mean, a
you
hairpin
immediately go
somewhere,
up this
isn't
little
there?
like hill. It's like a hill. It goes uphill and then right back downhill. It's pretty fun, but I mean, you got to hit it kind of perfectly. Like, there's not a lot of room for error in that corner.
And the 10 car and
P1
13.
is the fastest car on
I'm
the
losing
racetrack.
30 I rating here.
35.068.
How long is that race?
30 minutes total. I had a decent lap, and I just blew it.
P9 is the fastest car on the racetrack. 34.999.
Oh, I was about to I was about to pull the trigger on that SHH shifter,
Oh, nice.
and
Oh,
but it
no,
said,
no, no,
I mean, not really deterring me,
back
but
after
it said because I guess they changed it. It's like some new parts or something. They redesigned it a little bit.
Okay,
Um,
sounds good to me.
it said something about because of the parts they're still getting in or something. It wouldn't be shipping until like third week of January.
That's the way it always is. Anytime you order one of them,
Oh,
you gotta
is it?
wait long. Oh,
Right
yeah.
side.
Oh, and I just got
Clear.
clean.
Clear.
Sorry, go, I wait.
Yeah, that was fun. I want to check the brake line, make sure your car has brakes.
You were just too slow.
Fast guys are running 35.799.
Well, somehow I'd managed not to hit any cars yet.
It's always good.
Oh, this guy just ran me
They're in
over.
front of you?
I mean, just slammed into me, cleaned me out. Now I got a 6X. And I was really running this race trying to get safety ratings. It's like, oh, it's a 30-minute race. Long Beach has a bunch of turns. It's like, this will be great for my safety. It's like, it's MX-5s, I'll just stay away from people. And I did.
Yeah.
And I did stay away from people. And this guy just comes up behind me and wham! I mean, he ran me over, it lifted my car. He ran me over so much it lifted my car off the ground.
Come on, man. Focus on our game here.
It does take a little bit of getting used to too on the VR. Just being able to like look to your side and stuff. But the act of actually doing it. Like,
I guess.
I know it's kind of weird to me to be able to look to the side. Because occasionally I'll do it, you know, I got the buttons mapped on the wheel to look to the side, just in case I have to for some reason. And that kind of throws you all off if you're driving straight and then you look over to the side if you're on screens.
Yeah. Well, I started iRacing in VR. That's the only way I did it.
Yeah.
My very first iRacing, because all I had was a single monitor, and I didn't want to race a single monitor. And
Yeah.
I got into sim racing because of VR. Well, I take that back. I got into sim racing again. I did some. I really wasn't into sim racing before when I was younger, but when I was in college, I got into NASCAR 2000 and NASCAR 2003 by Papyrus, and I bought myself a little Microsoft Sidewinder steering wheel.
Hey, baby, I need a couple more laps.
And I did that, so I thought it was fun. I never raced in the online leagues or anything. All I did was just race against computer opponents by myself.
Yeah.
But I liked it, you know. And then I kind of put down
Alrighty, now
sim racing, you know, and didn't really do any more sim racing after that for a while. I did that for a while. I was in college for a year or two. My spare time some. And then I picked sim racing back up again when I got on the Xbox with Forza Motorsports 5, and kind of got into that, and I got myself a cheap Thrustmaster wheel and pedals set. It was the Thrustmaster TMX, which is like the T150. It's like the real entry level.
Yeah.
It's not even as good as the Logitech G29, you know.
Yeah.
I don't think they make it anymore. I think now they got that 248 or whatever they make now that replaced it, but
Yeah, I had always played like Gran Turismo and even some of the arcade ones like Need for Speed. And my wife one year, probably before we were married, bought me a steering wheel. I, for the life of me, don't know if it was Logitech or what. It was for, I think it was for Xbox. And it was one, it had like little things that pulled out that kind of curved and wrapped around your thighs.
Oh, yeah.
And
Mad Cats made it, probably. I remember. They made some that they set on your lap that went around your legs.
Yeah, I just remembered it was hard to play with. I was like, yeah, this is fun, it's cool, but it's hard to, like, win and be good with this thing. Like, I'm way better, you know, with the controller. So I didn't really use it too much. But for the life of me, I don't even remember really what it looked like.
That Microsoft Sidewinder I had it way back in the day. I was in college. It clipped to my desk. And then that Thrustmaster wheel I bought like a little cheap $60 wheel stand or something for it. And scooted it right up in front of my big screen TV, like 65-inch big screen TV, and scooted it right up in front of it. It's almost like VR. I mean, kind of. Other than it wasn't three-dimensional, but.
What actually got me into looking into the sim racing maybe a year ago, I just saw a video popped up, and it turns out it was Boosted Media. I guess he had his wife driving like.
Oh, I remember that.
Like the motion sim or something. And I saw her driving like the LA Canyon or something. I'm like, man, that looks sick.
It's like a wife reacts video or whatever.
Yeah, I think he got some new motion or wind or something on it, so she was like test driving it out. Yeah, I think it was the motion because he had her like drive off the cliff and it started bouncing all over the place and stuff. So I saw that video. I'm like, man, that looks crazy. Like if I had tens of thousands of dollars, I'd get into that. Like I didn't even start looking into it, so I didn't know like kind of how cheap-ish you could get into it, you know.
Yeah, so I got into, so I was doing the sim racing, and then I saw the VR stuff, and I was like, oh man, I want to try VR, and I ended up getting a cheap Windows mixed reality VR headset. Way back in the day, back probably in 2018-ish or so, and and I did other things with it first. Like I played this game called Arizona Sunshine. It was awesome. In fact, I think it's the main reason why I got it. And it was zombie game, whatever. Anyway, that was the main reason why I wanted it. And I tried a few other things in VR, and I thought, wait a minute, it'd be cool to race, in VR.
So you hadn't even seen anybody do it, like didn't even know it was a thing.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then because I knew I couldn't do it on the Xboxes. The Xbox is where I was doing all my racing. It was on Forza, and I said, I wonder if there's something I could. Because I love playing Forza Motorsport 5 with my wheel up to the TV. I was like, I wonder if there's a way to, if there's anything on the computer that'll do VR. And then I switched to racing Project Cars 2 because I found out that it and Assetto Corsa would do VR. I didn't really try Assetto Corsa that much, but I switched to Project Cars 2. And I played it all the way through. I did all the content on it and played it all the way through. And I played it all in VR, and that hooked me. I was like, this is great. And it was probably one of the best VR implementations in a racing sim. Not that it was a huge, like, realistic sim compared to, like, something like iRacing or Assetto Corsa, but the VR implementation was the best, and I loved it. And then I was like, then somebody's telling me about iRacing. I was like, I'm going to try it. And by that time, I'd already upgraded my VR headset to something a little nicer and got into iRacing, and I started iRacing. I was in VR. I never did iRacing on monitors until I got my triples.
Yeah. I'm still contemplating doing 32 1440s, but
really,
kind of. But I'm like, man, I got the VR. Like, it looks really good to me in VR. And
seriously,
it's fun.
if I already had 27s, I wouldn't do it. If I was buying from
they still look really good.
Well, that's because they're 27s, right? Yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I wouldn't want to go 32 at 1080, I don't think. But.
I mean, it doesn't look bad. I got my son a 32-inch 1080 monitor. It's identical to my monitors I use for sim racing. Same brand, identical shell. It's just his are 1080p because they were a decent amount cheaper. Yeah. And I got for him for Christmas, a Christmas present. And I've already hooked it up just to make sure there's no dead pixels or anything on it. Because usually you'll return stuff for 30 days. Anyway, I hooked it up, and I'm telling you, it looks sharp. I mean, if you're looking at if you're on the desktop of Windows, everything looks big because 1080p. At that size, you should have 1440p. As far as making sure all the proportions of the icons and text is right, what you're used to. But once you got into like a game or I loaded up Steam with my Steam Deck hooked up to it. When you get in the menus and you get into like something that's meant to be on like a game system or a gaming menu library, it looks great. I mean, the colors are great. It doesn't, when you get into a game, it doesn't, I can't tell a difference. Honestly, on a 65-inch TV, I can't tell a difference when a game's in 1080p or 4K.
That lap was a really good lap, man.
I'm not one that can tell it much of a difference.
What monitors do you have?
They're LG Ultra Gears. You can buy them on eBay. They sell them on eBay real cheap. That's why I went with them, and I really like them. They're amazing deep collars. Like when I bought my 32s, I got them on eBay. They were brand new, open box is how they were listed. And I don't get it because they came sealed in the box, unless the box had been opened and they resealed it. But it was all factory sealed. $169.99 a piece. 1440p, 32-inch monitors. Amazing looking monitors. $169 each.
I kind of regret because I initially started. I had a 34-inch ultra wide 1440,
That's good, man. Keep
which
it up.
obviously looked really, really good on.
Next car
And then
is
I was
hitting.
going to add two 27s to that, but my graphics card I don't think would. It was just 360, so I don't think I would have been able to handle that. So I was like, man.
You
So
could
that's
always
when
just
I went-
lower the resolution when you played iRacing.
Yeah, I just went up to I went up to Best Buy to see what they had. I was actually torn between. They had these. I got the Acer Nitro, and they had these on sale for. I mean, they're still relatively cheap. They're only like $209 or something. I think they were on sale for $179 a piece. And I was actually torn between three of these, and not that they were in the same price range, but the LG, like the Ultra Gear, like the 45 Ultra Wide.
Oh my!
I mean, it was like $1,600 or something. You have the 240
Wow.
hertz OLED. And I was
Damn,
like,
dude,
man, but I'm still not
that was
getting the
about
field of
as
view
fast
I
as we
want with that screen.
Yeah,
that,
I hear you.
It looked thick, you know, and it was a lot more expensive. So, I mean, I got out of there, $600 for 3 screens, and then I added a fourth. I had a little one for the fourth. I actually had we have a 24-inch LG whatever monitor for our Mac Mini, and I actually put that on here and put the ultra wide on the Mac Mini, which it does support, but it still looked terrible. And
You
my
got a
wife
Mac?
uses it. Yeah, for like our regular computer.
I know that's just it's not. Most people around here don't have them. I've had a Mac
What's it?
once. I had a MacBook
Left
Pro one
side.
time and ended up getting rid of it after like a year and a half.
Really?
Yeah, it just because most of the software I needed to do stuff wasn't on.
Yeah. If you need to use it, it's. I think Macs are just for people to you point and click. You just go. I mean, it doesn't. You don't need to do anything to it.
Yeah, it's a
And if you
computer.
want to do anything to it, you can't. So
There was a parody of, it's called Internet Help Desk. I watched when I was in college, 20-some years ago, 25 years ago, whatever. And this guy said, tell your mommy and daddy the next time their computer messes up, just to throw it away or give it to you to play with, and tell them to go buy a Mac. It's a computer especially made for idiots. I mean, mommies and daddies. I mean, mommies and daddies.
Yeah.
It was hilarious because these people called in this help desk to have PC support in their computer, and the guy ended up giving up on him and said, "Do you have a child in the house?" And he got the child one, and he walked the child through fixing their computer like in 2 seconds. It was hilarious, and told him to tell his mommy and daddy to go buy a Mac. But anyway, yeah.
Keep after,
Oh,
keep
but
digging.
when I checked the
3.9.
monitors this time, they went up in price. Like the 1440p version that I paid $169 for is now went up in price to like
Remember, try to stay online as best you can, please.
$229 or so, or something like that. I mean, it's not that expensive, but compared to what I paid, and I ended up getting the 1080p one. The reason I bought it, I got it for like $180, and I was like, well, he's not going to use 1440p, and he hooks his computer up to his TV at the same time, and and TVs don't do 1440p natively, so like. When they do it, they got to kind of emulate it, and it always makes the latency really high on a TV when you force it to do 1440p to mirror a computer screen. So their TVs run 4K, and they do 720p, 1080p, and 4K natively, but most TVs do not do 1440p natively. And if you look at the latency times on them, like it doubles the latency, input latency whenever you whenever you hook it up to something that's putting out a 1440p signal.
Hmm.
So anyway, so because he does that, I figured he's not going to. Even if he got a 1440p, he'd set it to 1080 anyway to match his TV.
Yeah.
And his video card's only a 1080 Ti, so it's getting kind of old. It wouldn't really do 1440 well. It barely. Some games it struggles at 1080p anymore. But that's an upgrade.
3060 sitting here.
Huh?
I got a 3060 sitting here.
Oh, to sell?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to, but I'm like, man, let me keep it. What if something happens with this graphics card, especially like immediately? I
Right.
was like, it only lasts a week or something. At least I'll have something.
Well,
I'll probably end up going and buying. I mean, I'll buy another 47.
Here's the problem, though. The fact is that the 1080 Ti is about on par with a 3060
Is
Ti.
it really?
Yeah, but the only downside to the 1080 Ti is they don't support. It doesn't support DirectX 12 very well. Like it's got the initial DirectX 12 implementation with the limited instruction set. It doesn't have the full complete DirectX 12 instruction implementation. So in modern games, it craps itself on DirectX 12. So you have to use DirectX 11. So that's the only limitation. If a game doesn't support DirectX 11, then or very well, then it's in trouble.
Yeah.
Like with Fortnite, my kids love Fortnite, and I hooked when I first installed it and ran Fortnite on it. It ran like crap, and I'm like, the 1080 that used to be in his computer ran better, and I'm like, what is going on here? And I was like, this is just insane. Something's wrong with this card. Well, turns out that Fortnite just updated, and then it switched it to DirectX 12 automatically when I put that card in. And when I went back and sent it to DirectX 11, then it performed really good.
Oh, that kick it in gear. The leader's behind you.
So, I mean, just raw performance, it's online with a 3060 or 3060. Yeah, running a 3060.
Gotcha. So it's not just about what resolution it can support, obviously.
It's about, it's not just about the
Got a lot of
resolution. It's what technologies does it support? And NVIDIA and AMD automatically, they intentionally lock out new features from their old cards so that you have to buy new ones. Even if you bought a super beefy old card that's still otherwise good, they lock the new features out. So if you want to use new features, you got to get the new card.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But for what my kids do, that 1080 Ti will last them a while. I just got it for him, I think this past summer.
Yeah.
And my nephew
Left side.
picked one up too.
Clear.
I wish I could get my daughter into the sim race. She played with it a little bit. She played like Forza Horizon 5 a little bit. Let her drive around, but because of upgraded all the stuff, I almost had a whole another setup. I had that.
That's what happens to me a lot of times. Yeah.
I had the Logitech, everything. I mean, we need another computer, but other than that, we could have had two setups.
Yeah, when I upgrade, I always filter all my stuff down to everybody else.
Yeah.
But the reason I went with that 1080 Ti is because a 3060 or 3060 Ti is like $300+ dollars, $360. You know what I got that 1080 Ti for? I got it used for like 160 or something like that, 180. And it's the same.
I think even used at 3060 still like 250.
Right, and so I got the same power for like half the price.
Yeah.
It's just it doesn't support the new features.
Yeah.
But my kids don't need the new features, you know.
Yeah. How much longer is your race?
I don't know. One more lap, I think.
Oh
no, I'm about to go around. No. Oh, I wrecked hard. Oh, I'm done. I destroyed my car. Oh, jeez.
Our pit official says we need to really fix a bunch of it before they let us back out.
There's only one lap left. Oh my goodness.
40.
I went around. I went in too hot and went around. Oh.
Oh. Minute 40. We'll fix you up, get you better.
Hold on a second. Yeah, it's nice
Thank
having
you,
a
Robert.
mute button on the stream deck now.
White.
Yeah, guys, I got wrecked myself out of that road course race. So, yeah, I didn't have any safety rating there I was trying to gain. Guys, appreciate everybody tuning in for this race. If you haven't done so yet, hit that subscribe button, bell icon, get you notified anytime we go live with new content on the channel. And consider clicking the like button. Heard my kids scream there beside me, yelling for mommy. Anyway, if you like what we do, hit the like button and helps us out. Lets us get our videos in front of more people. Guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, we'll see you in the next one.